Mhm. Good morning, 9:30 Cotton Cuts time. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Thank you all for joining. I think it is an awesome Thursday morning in St. Louis. It is the spring day that I have been waiting for a long time. However, I don't know how many of you guys live in the Midwest with all the cicada drama that's going on over the next couple months, but they are out and they are thick and they are literally falling off the trees in clumps here. This apocalyptic bug invasion is something I am not used to or prepared for, but I have a feeling we're going to get real darn comfortable with it over the next couple of months. Okay. All right. So good morning, everybody. We are going to hold on one second. I am being told that there is something wrong with my camera here. Okay, we're gonna go with that. All right. So, good morning, everybody. Let's see here. Yes, so Terry, yeah, the cicadas. They're literally just on the tree. I was walking the dog this weekend, which I think is one of these questions I'm going to be answering. And I saw what looked like bark falling off a tree, and I was like, oh, there's a squirrel climbing up the tree. Oh no, that was clumps of the cicada larva falling off the tree. So yeah, it's fun. The dog likes to eat them, which is even grosser. Okay. All right, fantastic. So we're going to start like we do every week, and we're going to take questions that have been submitted by you guys. All right, so we've got two today. Paula hands me these as I sit down, and I can see that the first question comes from Amanda Hawk. Good morning, Amanda, from Chatsworth, California. How's the foster puppy? Okay, so we kind of soft led into that with the cicada talk. For those that don't know, in January, we decided to be foster parents for dogs, and that was one of these things. More protein, yeah, more protein for my foster dog, right? That's exactly what it is. So we decided to be foster parents. So we had two dogs that Eric and I, Mr. Cotton Cuts, got when we were first married, and they were with us for 16 years each. They were awesome. They were amazing. But we didn't necessarily want to adopt another dog. We were very busy. Our kids are busy. We wanted to make sure we could, adopt a dog that we would keep for a long time. So we decided to foster. Fostering is a fantastic program. And we foster with Stray Rescue here in St. Louis. And so we fostered our first dog. 4 months later, he's still with us. Fostering, he's kind of the foster. We're learning a lot, right? Puppies. If you're fostering a puppy, those dogs are like in and out. I have a friend that fosters puppies, and she is turning out puppies like every 5 to 6 days. She's like fostering 6 to 7 puppies a month. But with puppies, you're dealing with crate training and walking on a leash and tearing up stuff in your house. And then we have friends that have the adult dogs, and the adult dogs, they typically tend to stay with their foster a little longer. Our guy, Butterfinger, he was 7 months old when we got him. He's almost a year now. He's awesome. He's smart. He's amazing. But he's a boy dog. And he's past that cute, adorable puppy phase that you want to take. And he's not quite to adult dog yet. But we love him so much. He keeps us busy. He gets us out walking. He keeps my boys busy, teaching responsibility. Lincoln feeds him. That's his job. Dominic takes him out. That's his job. So all the good things that, that we get from having a dog in our house. We are trying to convince Mr. Cotton Cuts to let us keep this dog, that this might be our keeper dog. But you know, it's okay. That's a work in progress for us. So Amanda, thank you so much for asking about the puppy. We love him. We love organizations that are doing great things. I mean, this puppy's story, he was rescued off the streets in Memphis. He had a bad skin infection. He was on a euthanized list, and via a circuitous route, he ended up with us. And so he's living his best life. Okay. Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate the question. All right. Next question comes from Ginger from Concord, New Hampshire. Is it better to use a solid or a pattern fabric for the backing? All right, this is okay. All right, I got to get warmed up for this question. All right, so I would say that it depends. That's always the best answer to questions like this. And so I think it depends on what you want the back of your quilt to be. And so when I think of using a solid color fabric on the back of the quilt, it's usually because I want to highlight the quilting on the front. Because when you have a solid on the back, the quilting becomes the focal point, and the quilting becomes the thing that you can see the most. So if you're going to be paying for that long arm or to put in an intricate custom design, a solid back might be the way to go, so you can really see the artwork that the quilting is in your quilt. Pattern fabrics are great because they can hide a lot of mistakes. So when I'm thinking of putting a pattern on the back, it's usually just because I mean, very transparently, like I have extra yardage of fabric I don't necessarily like, and I want to just put it on the back of the fabric. Or I have a pattern that I want to be able to just kind of hide some quilting. If I'm trying free motion quilting for the first time, a pattern is a great way to kind of hide the quilting on the back. Plus, I mean, it depends on the back of your quilt. How many times is it going to be seen? For most people, probably not very often. If you have it on a bed, you know, you might flip it up and see the back side. If it's going to be hanging on a wall, you'll never see the back side. So that pattern fabric can work on the back. But the one thing that always, always, always trips me up is if I use directional patterned fabric on the back. And so if I have a print that is directional meaning it has lines, or it has a repeat that is a line or a width, or something that is geometric, it is going to give me fits putting it on the back of my quilt, because I'm going to want to make sure that direction is the same across the entire back. So where I might have more options of piecing it and rotating pieces and stacking them on top of each other to get to the width and length I need, if I'm using a pattern fabric that is directional and you want it to look great, you're going to have to make sure you get those widths of fabric and keep that pattern aligned. You know, there's lots of different options for the back. It does not even have to be a quilting cotton on the back. You can use a minky, you can use a flannel, you can use any sort of fabric on the back that you want, depending on what your quilt is being used for. I've used minky for, gosh, 3 or 4 mystery quilts, and those are the most loved quilts in our house. They're heavier. People like that they're a little warmer, but I want to be clear, I didn't cut that minky in our house. I actually went to a hotel for a retreat in the hallway to cut the minky because it shed everywhere. But yeah, the minky is kind of my favorite go-to backing for a quilt. But you guys, if you have any preferences, if you're like a diehard, oh, I love solid, or oh, I love patterns, leave it in the comments and share that with folks, just so you can kind of share that knowledge. I think we can all learn from each other on this one. I think the back is kind of the unspoken part of the process, because we put all the effort into the front, and by the time we get to the back, it's kind of the last thing, and our brain is so tired we just want to get it done. So I'd be interested to see if there's strategies that you have for the back of your quilt. Thank you guys so much for the questions. So if you want to submit one for next week, go to cottoncuts.com/live, enter your question, and Paula will hand it to me, and we will see where the conversation goes. All right, don't forget to give StreamYard your permission so that way we can see all these comments. I see lots of comments about the minky, guys. Yeah, the minky. Like, if you haven't tried it, I would definitely give it a whirl. So I am seeing people asking about the minky pulling out. So I had a long armor quilted. I think there's a little bit of a concern when you're sewing with minky that it can actually get pulled up into the top when the needle is coming back up to the top of your quilt. And I didn't have that problem at all. I think also, oh, I forgot to talk when I was talking about backing, your thread choice matters. And so you want to make sure your thread choice and your backing matters. So if you're using a solid dark and you have a cream or a white batting, you're going to end up pulling that through to the back. And so you want to make sure that your batting and your thread and everything kind of coordinate if you're using that solid back. That's where also the pattern can help too, because even if you pull little bits of batting through, you're not going to be able to see it on the pattern fabric. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Busy backing is better. Yes, Jana Alley, I agree. Busy backing hides a lot of things. And at that point in the quilt making process, when you just want to be done, fantastic. I also am a glutton for punishment. I will piece backing and then people can't tell the front and the back. And that's just a different level of quilting neurosis. Okay. Don't forget to give StreamYard your permission. We're going to be giving away another $25 gift card to our Cotton Cut shop. We keep talking about it. We're moving, guys. August is coming so fast, and we need help moving things out of here so we don't have to move them down the street to our new home. So we're going to give away a $25 gift card. That'll be a very simple question that we're going to ask you at the end of the show. Okay, so what's happening in the shop this week? Again, it's just another crazy busy week in the shop. So first and foremost, Carrie has joined Team Cotton Cuts. So she is now helping us with our member care team. You'll see her on social media. She'll be responding to all your requests. Emails are going to start to come from Carrie. She's doing an awesome job, guys. She's keeping it all under control. She's making sure all of our members feel special and are taken care of. So we are super excited to have Carrie with us. If you see that name, give her a shout out, give her a howdy, and make sure she feels loved. Okay. This week we shipped our spirit quilts, and we're also shipping Java and Chroma. It's just kind of that like middle week of the month. These are the things that happen for us. We are also preparing our Floral States of America quilt kits. So you guys really liked those backing kits. I am excited. I called Andover and they're shipping us more fabric. So be prepared for a refresh on the website. We're also getting those first 5 states ready to go. And so let's see here. Oh, so Terry is in the piecing the front and the back. She's suggesting you do 2 PMQs, one for the front, one for the back of your quilts. I would love to see that. I am not going to be sad if someone gives that a go. That's a fantastic idea. All right. So back to Floral States. So we're getting ready to ship those first 5 states, guys. This is going to be super stinking cute. I am very excited about this. This is a like super fun experience to join along with. I think we have like less than 50 seats available, so definitely don't delay. Get over to the website, sign up. We in the shop, the team is preparing to cut clue 5 and 6 for Tree of Life. And so I know that everyone kind of participates in the PMQ month to month to month, but our team is in this phase where we try to do as much ahead of time as possible. So by the end of this month, we will be pretty close to done with clue 8 and 9 of Tree and Life, because we try to get that all done before we start the next mystery. So that way, when it comes time to ship you your clues, we're grabbing them and sending them. And so this is a good kind of catch up time of the month. It looks like Who's Your Life is asking, showing a picture of that. I haven't seen it. Okay, so Who's Your Life? If you go to the website for Floral States, cottoncuts.com/floral states, you can see more information about the program and how to get everything that you need to know. All right. Laura Qualls is asking, gosh, this Minky question. I feel like, Paul, this should be like we should do like a whole section on Minky on the back of the quilt, and I can actually bring the quilts in and show everybody. So I use batting when I used the Minky. You don't have to. That's totally optional. It depends on, where you are geographically, how the quilt is going to be used and how warm do you want it to be. My family loves the Minky quilts where like those are on the couch full year round. It doesn't matter if it's a St. Louis summer or winter, they're using them all the time. All right, and tomorrow we're taking Whatnot adventure number 2. All right, so Whatnot is an online kind of shopping platform for people to buy things live. So I know a lot of quilt shops are doing live selling on their website or on an app. We tried Whatnot last month and we actually kind of liked it. So we're going to do a little something different tomorrow. First time it was Cotton Cuts After Dark, and it was all sorts of like things like this. The set I was in got really, really, really dark. But tomorrow it's going to be Coffee with Cotton Cuts. So we're going to come to you Friday morning. I have no doubt I'll have a giant coffee cup on set. Paul is going to take care of all that for us. But what we're going to do is we're going to try the auction feature on Whatnot. And so this will be a fun way to kind of see how the auction feature works. So we will actually have whole bolts of fabric. And so we've picked out a selection from Moda and Ruby Star, and we're going to be auctioning off the entire bolt. So literally we're going to take the cardboard out of the middle because it costs more to ship it, but we're going to then fold it in half and mail it to you. And you'll get 15 yards of high quality Moda or Ruby Star fabric. And it's going to be an auction. So when you're there, like you're going to bid your price and we're going to let it go for a certain period of time. And, I'm sure we'll change and evolve. And I have no doubt over time, we're going to be giving away more free stuff. But you are not going to want to miss us on Whatnot. So definitely, I think the link is on the screen for Facebook and for YouTube, bit.ly fabric bolts to learn more. All right, now on to the main event. Okay, so we've been talking about Wild West. We've been kind of like sneaking this concept of the new PMQ. And this week, over the past 7 days, colorways have been landing on the website. And so you guys have been excited. I can already see it in the comments. People are like, I want to do 4, I want to do 5. I love all these colorways. And so I wanted to kind of take this time and talk about how we develop the colorways. How do we get to this point where we put these color wheels on the website? And then I actually want to show you guys the color wheels and talk about why I picked these to be part of this program. And also, you guys are going to get insider information. I'm going to tell you which of the fabrics in the color wheel are the most predominant in the final design. So you'll be able to know which 2 fabrics kind of stand out the most to help you with your decision process. Okay, so colorways. They are actually selected about 6 to 8 months before they drop on the website. And so I will have sales reps come into the shop and they'll show me collections. And as I'm looking at the collections, I am assessing kind of timing, and the timing is so important, guys. We are constantly getting asked about, hey, can we have this designer? Hey, can we have this collection? The timing is actually super important. And so since we do this twice a year, if the collection is not released in a certain window, we actually can't use it for a PMQ. The timing of the collection releasing is super important for us. We also look for a variety of scale in the design. And so we want to make sure that it's die cuttable. So we talked about directional prints at the beginning. A directional print is a horrible choice for a die cut because we're going to cut that triangle and square and it's going to be a little wonky, just the way the fabric is rolled on the bolt before it even gets to us, and it's going to drive you batty. You're not going to like it at all. So we are looking at the actual designs, and then we're looking at diversity of color. And so we kind of know what colorways people are going to ask for, and we kind of want to make sure we hit some notes, but then I'm always looking for something different, something new, something we've never done before. And so I look for those into the fabrics we choose. And so I communicate that to Sheila, and she is also independently looking for colorways. And then she plugs them into the design that she's had in the books for about 6 months. And she actually renders what the actual finished quilts are going to look like. And then she sends those to me. And so I create this vision board of all the different quilts together and kind of take a look at them and see what is too close, what is too kind of outside the box. And then between that, I kind of whittle the colorways down. And so when we were going through Wild West, there's actually about 18 colorways that Sheila designed that we're just not going to use. We're not going to use them because they look too similar to something else. They're just not exciting. I know that's difficult to quantify, but it's not super exciting. Or when I reached out to the manufacturer, they had no fabric for us. They did not order enough. The collection didn't sell well. They can't actually help us source those fabrics. And so when we're looking at all of those factors, we kind of boil it down, and then we get to where we are today, which is the actual colorways. And so I'm trying to see. So Paula definitely wants me to ask and remind everybody. This has come up a lot, that the theme is Wild West. And so we actually intentionally did not pick a Wild West theme. So there's no cow boots, there's no lassos, there's no cows, there's no ranches. We intentionally didn't pick that one. The name of the quilt is representative of the design. It is the design aesthetic. When you look at the final design, 10 months, 12 months from now, you'll see that it has kind of a Western type theme to it without being overtly Western. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the color wheels, because we've been putting these on the website this way for about 14 different puzzle mystery quilts. And we like this method of showing you the colors in the quilt because, well, A, it looks like the logo, which is super awesome. We love our Rosa logo. But we lay them out this way because we want you to be able to see all the colors at once. And so I'm going to hold this up, and I'm thinking everybody can see it on all the platforms. And so the way that this color wheel is organized is my index finger is on the fabric that will eventually be the binding on your quilt. So that fabric is always, the 6 o'clock position is always the binding. And then when you go clockwise around the color wheel, this is going to be your fabric A, B, C, D, E, and F. And so that's a good way as you're sewing along. We always say fabric A, fabric B, fabric C, fabric D, but they're always organized in the wheel the same way, clockwise around. So if you ever get stuck, that's a handy dandy little tip and trick. We'll definitely come back and talk about that more later. But what I want to share about the color wheels is that there are two fabrics that are used more frequently in the design than some of the other fabrics. We've been getting a lot of feedback of like, hey, I wish it had this. Hey, I want to see more. Hey, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. The fabrics that are used the most, and as we go through each one, I'm going to show you these two fabrics with the arrow. So this fabric F and fabric D are used more frequently than the other prints. Every other print is still definitely used. But in that case, those are the two that are the most frequent. So if you see something there that's like really dark and you don't want a dark quilt, just know that in your decision-making process. Okay. So yeah, so that is kind of the outline of the color wheels. Let me see, Paula, did I capture everything? She's giving me a scrunchy face. So I'm just going to keep going. So what I have is I have all of the 12 colorways that are on the website right now. And so what I want to do is go through each one, talk about the collection and why it was picked over some of the other ones that we are not using. Okay, so this first collection is Andover Fabrics Joy by Laundry Basket. So Laundry Basket is Aditya Sitar. She's a fantastic fabric designer. We've used her collection quite frequently. I liked this one because it uses pinks, which the reproduction pinks are always amazing and fun. And then it has this pop of green. And I like that pop of green because it's a little bit different. And in this quilt, it adds a little bit of more depth and dimension to it. This, I want to make sure everyone knows, this is definitely a reproduction print, which does skew a little bit more modern these days, but this one was picked because I like her collections, because I know they die cut well, and because I know people like the pink reproductions of the reproductions we have. All right, the next collection is, it's an art gallery fabrics collection. So we have several art gallery. We do like partnering with art gallery for their mystery quilts. And so this is called The Flower Fields by Maureen Cracknell. This one has a name. I don't know what it is. I'm sure Paula knows and she will share it with us when the time is right. Let's see here. So this one, I'm sorry, I don't understand the comment that it reads heavily 80s Christmas. So I don't see 80s Christmas in this Flicky Chicky. So this one, I picked this one because this one reminds me in the finished quilt a lot of like nighttime in the desert. And so it has those darks, but then the bright colors that pop in there, it's kind of like the like sun setting, and it's really, it has a lot of good kind of elements to it. And I like that the dark is in there and pops as well. All right, so we always do a blue. Always, always, always do a true blue. And so this time we picked Art Gallery Fabrics True Blue, which is from Maureen Cracknell. And so in this case, this blue, I like this blue because it's a little different than some of the true blues we've done in the past, because it has some smaller scale floral prints into it. And that navy, guys, the navy is becoming a very on-trend popular color when we're looking at blues. And so this one is going to be a lot of fun. This one, even though it has floral, it could definitely be masculine in nature because of the dark navy that is used in it and throughout. All right, next up, we have Figo Fabrics. So Figo Fabrics, for those of you that don't know, is a modern branch of Northcutt Fabric. And so they've been printing fabrics for like 5-6 years now. We partner with Figo a lot. So we actually have 3 Figo collections in Tree of Life. This one is Autumn Forage by Bacchini Meadows. So this one, guys, is definitely masculine in nature. And when we posted this one actually had a lot of positive comments and feedback. And you can kind of see that this F and this E fabric, those are the predominant ones. And you know, it is definitely like, I would make this for my boys and I think they would love it because it has that kind of boy type feel to it, even though it has those botanicals in it and it is very natural. All right. Okay, so this next one. So this next one is In the Beginning Garden of Dreams, Jason Yenter. Okay, so this is a similar collection to what we used for Tree of Life. It's not the same, guys. We've done this in the past and we've done this before. Because sometimes we can buy a couple bolts and we can use a similar collection to what we've done in the past. And so I want to talk about that for a little bit because I've been seeing comments about it. Even here, I've been seeing some comments about that. So we do this all the time. And so I want to use the example of, I have a fat quarter bundle of Tula Pinks fabric, right? I love this fat quarter bundle. It came to me in the mail, it's a fat quarter bundle. The quilt that I make using pattern A is going to be very different than the quilt that I make using pattern B. Pattern choice matters in the finished quilt, guys. And so you can use the same fabrics in 2 different patterns and get 2 very different quilts. And so this is one of these things we would not do unless it made something that was drastically different than what we've done previously. And so this is one of these things, guys. We just do this. And I wouldn't do it if I was like, we're doing the same quilt, because we are not. And so I want to be clear that it's a different pattern. It is not going to be the same finished quilt, and it is going to look drastically different than when we used it, in Carnival. The second piece to this, guys, is fabric placement matters, right? So depending on where we are, like this quilt, as I told you guys, those 2 arrowed fabrics are the most predominant fabrics. That was not the case in Carnival. There were other fabrics that were more predominant. And so even if I was to take these fabrics and shuffle the wheel and remake Carnival, it would be a totally different quilt because fabric placement matters. And so I know that there's been some kind of confusion about this, but not the first time we've done it, guys. We've done it 3 or 4 times before. If we can buy a couple more bolts. Now, mind you, we're not going to have a lot of people that are going to do this because we don't have a whole bunch of fabric to do it. But at the same time, I wanted to give us a chance to do this one again. And so we picked it, but I would not have picked it if it's going to make a horrible quilt, or if it's going to look like, or if it's going to be another carbon copy of what we did for Carnival. So this fabric is beautiful, guys. We actually just got reached out to by a group. I think they're in Illinois, and they want to do a challenge, and they want to use these fabrics because members of their group are requesting them. Jason Yunter, I know, has a huge following. We have some members in Washington where they are that love him. And so, guys, these fabrics are still beautiful. It is going to be a very different quilt. If you did a snow cone and you want to do it again and see how the difference is in the quilt, like, it is going to be a different quilt. All right, enough on that. All right, next up, we have the Bright quilt. All right, so every time we do a PMQ, I always pick a collection that's bright. And actually looking on Facebook, guys, this looks a little dull. So definitely go to the website. This one is neon and this one is bright. And so I always like picking kind of a bright on fire because sometimes you just want to sit and sew with happy fabrics. And I don't know about you, but if I am sewing with bright orange and bright yellow and bright pink, I am sewing and it's happy. The colors can brighten my mood. And so this quilt, I know it looks like a lot. There's a lot of fabrics in here, but they're high contrast. And I feel like that's one of the things that I am always, the feedback we get is we want fabric that has higher contrast. So you can actually see the difference and see the movement that Sheila puts into the design. This is the colorway that's going to get it for you guys. These bright contrasting colors are going to make a very fun quilt that you're going to be able to take on a picnic and put on the ground, and people are going to love it. This is a well-loved quilt right here, guys. So these are the Moda Grunge Bright. This one's going to be a lot of fun. This is fun to sew and fun to use when it's done. All right. Every single time we do a purple batik. This is one of these things. It's just we've always done a purple batik. And this one I like because I pushed Sheila and we both came up with something a little different. So this is a very saturated dark purple. Oftentimes when we do the purple, we want to put in kind of a blue or an aqua or a green or something else. But she put in all of these dark colors. And so this looks so different than any other purple batik we've done. And this is the one that I think like I might pick up and sew because this looks awesome. And it has metallic in some of the batiks. This fabric here is actually a metallic inlay. Our team, we were a little shy when we wanted to put metallics into batiks because it does typically make them harder to press. And we've had some problems with Volley and Natano in the past. But I'm encouraging our team to go back to the metallic and the batiks. It is a silver metallic. This one is going to be lots of fun, guys. This one, it is not like every other purple batik that we have done in the past. All right, I'm seeing a lot of chatter. Ian is joining us for the live. There's a lot of people like, Ian, you're supposed to be working. It's a Thursday during the middle of the morning. What are you doing? All right, welcome, Ian. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, this one is fun. I love the Halloween collections. Okay, so this one's Art Gallery Fabrics Erie by Caterina Roccella. And so we've done an art gallery. We've done an art gallery Halloween before, Esther, and it's one of my favorites that we've ever done. I love these little like ghosts here, guys. and the pumpkins and the spider webs and the little like shadow cats. Guys, I hate cat fabric. Like everyone on my team knows that. But these little silhouette cats are so stinking cute, and they're going to die cut up so nicely. It's going to be one of those I Spy, like what can you see? What can you look at? And so this one, it's going to be a lot of fun. It doesn't have the pink that Aster did. And it, again, it looks different than Aster, guys. It's one of these. This is the color wheel. It's going to be predominantly this black, and the ghosts are going to be the colors that are the fabrics you're going to use the most. And so, guys, this one is going to be a lot of fun. All right. Oh, this one. Okay. So here we go. So this one is Blank Quilting Holiday Style Satin Moon Design. Okay. So this one, we always do a black and white, but this time I wanted to do a black and white with a little bit of accent color. And so we've done black, white, and yellow before. We've done black, white, and red. This one, it's kind of this like pinky red color, but as you can see, this fabric here is pretty predominant. So you're going to get a pretty healthy dose of this red and this magenta offset by this cream. Those are the two predominant colors in this. And so with this colorway, guys, you know, people were saying, hey, I wish it had more of fill in the blank. I'm going to ask you guys to trust the process on this one and trust that this fabric here is used significantly. And so this is going to be a fun one. So, you know, it's got that pink, it's got that black, it's got that gray. This one is a fun collection of color palettes. And I know it's called holiday style, guys. Actually don't know why they're calling it that. I would say there's a couple other prints in the collection that are kind of winter Christmas themed, but it is called holiday style. We've done a collection with this designer in the past. It was called Portia. We internally called it the death flowers because it was like black flowers and pink flowers. And guys, when we did that reveal, my jaw was as on the ground as your guys's are when you see the big reveal because it was so awesome. And so this one, it's one of these you're going to be sewing along, and when you put it together, this is going to be a showstopper right here. Okay. The next one is by special request. And so I am so excited we were able to finagle this one in. And so Riley Blake, Lori Holt is a fabric designer that works for Riley Blake and has for many, 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 many years. And so she has some B basics. And when I was talking about timing earlier, Lori Holt is one of those ones that always misses the timing, right? Her collections always release and ship off cycle of our PMQ. And so Sheila and I really put our heads together. We have to make this work. Lori Holt is huge. She has a big following. And so we put together a collection of her basics. And so as you guys can see, it's going to be this pink and this cream. This is 30s reproduction on a screen, guys. This is as 30s as it gets. I even love these little like 70s televisions that are here. That was one of our first Lori Holt fabrics that we shipped from this collection. And it is a ton of just fun. It's got little scissors in it. It's got the like cross stitch X's. Guys, this is Lori Holt. I hope you guys love it because I want to be able to do it again in the future. So definitely if you like Lori Holt, get in there and get it and show the love so we know to include it going forward. Okay, this one was added just this week. So this one is Ebb and Flow by Wyndham Fabric. And so I picked this collection because true green fabrics are super hard to find. We have gone through about 10 years of fabric and fashion where everything is aqua, teal, and turquoise. Finding a true real green is hard to do. I know this because Dominic loves green and I hate green, and he's always asking for green projects, and I can never find true green fabric. As long as that kid has been alive, 12 years, true green fabric has been hard to find. It is starting to come back. And when I saw this collection, I had to do it. It has so much movement. The scale on these prints is so different. This is going to be a quilt that's going to have a lot of movement because of the scale of the prints. And I like that it has that saturated green in it. And so, oh, let's see here. I love this, but there's so much yellow. Yeah, I know it has the yellow, but at the same time, so this is why we're doing this today, guys. This F and this D, right? Those are the predominant prints. Those prints don't have yellow. So you're going to have just little bits of yellow here and little bits of yellow here, but those are going to be the two predominant colors. And when I say predominant, think kind of background or think kind of major big borders around it. So if that changes your opinion, then definitely, let's see here. Oh, Ian, so for those of you that have been paying attention in our Facebook group, Ian has been posting alerts whenever he sees new website colorways go up. And it turns out that he has set an alert on our site because I post them and I walk over and tell Paula we have new colorways up. And before you know it, Ian's already posted in our group. So Ian has set an alert on it. That's why he is the tech savvy guru. All right, this is the last colorway we added just, I believe, 2 days ago. So this is an Andover Fabrics collection, Nora's Garden by Shauna Doria. And so I liked this collection. I think it looks pink on the printout. It's actually closer to purple. And so it's purple and green. And purple and green is always popular. It's one of these, I'm always looking for a purple and green. We had Petting Zoo that was purple and green, and that quilt came out lovely. People really liked it. It's not truly like a true green like I was talking about for the ebb and flow, but this is the kind of green that goes well with purples. And so we always kind of look for a fun new collection. And guys, even though we've done green and purple before, it's a different design. So it's no different than the snow cone fabrics, right? It's a different design. The finished product is going to be different. If you've got someone who likes green and purple in your family, this might be the perfect collection for them. And you can hold this up next to Petting Zoo and it's going to be a totally different quilt. Like that is guaranteed. I am not going to pick a colorway that's going to look exactly like something we've already done. We don't go backwards, guys. We always go forward. Okay. So I can tell you guys, you're hearing it here since you've been with me this time. There will be 1 to 3 colorways added to the website over the next 2 to 3 days. I say 1 to 3 because we're kind of putting some things together. Wait down here on about one fabric over here, or we're making a substitution. We're doing some last minute juggling, but we still have 1 to 3 colorways up our sleeve. They are different than all of these. They are definitely something that I think you guys will like and appreciate based upon the feedback we've been given. Now we are running our name the giveaways. So I guess we've done this the past kind of 3 or 4 mysteries. Yeah. Name the colorways. It's fine. Paul is like whispering, it's colorways, not giveaways. Okay. So we've done this for the past couple of mysteries. And so it used to be that I would name the colorways, or Sheila would name the colorways, or one time Dominic named all the donut colorways, or one time Lincoln picked all the Olympian colorways. And so we actually like letting you guys pick the colorway names. And so we usually come up with a small pool of on thematic names and let you guys vote on it. So we're doing this in our Cotton Cuts Fabric Facebook group. If you're not in that group, you definitely need to hustle your tushy on over there and join. If you go to Facebook and you search for Cotton Cuts Fabric, or go to facebook.com/group/cotton cuts, we're rolling these colorways out. We're going to start doing about 2 a day and letting you guys decide what we call them. They're kind of fun. Like there's like tumbleweed and prairie and renegade. I mean, I don't even know. Paula's on top of all of this stuff. She just kind of lets me know. Paula has her favorites, and so she might be slightly influencing the outcome, but it's one of these things, like we like letting you guys pick the name because it's fun and it's a great way to get comments on that. Let's see here. We should do these posts as a poll so people can see the votes. I will definitely have Paula look into that for you guys. Ebb and Flow is the greenest of the colorways, and so that is definitely the pure green. So Laura, if you're looking for a pure green, that is the purest green. Again, those green colorways are super hard to find. I am always on the lookout for one, and when I find one, we love it. All right, yes, there's more colorways coming. There's about 1 to 3 coming in the next couple of days that I think you guys are going to like. All right, so today we are giving away that $25 gift card to our shop. If you win that gift card, you can apply it towards your next PMQ. I am not going to stop you from doing that. Or you can go and buy thread or notions or patterns or any of the awesome things in the back of the shop. So in order to be entered to win, you're going to find this video on Instagram, on YouTube, or on Facebook, and you're going to answer the question. For the back of your quilt, do you prefer solid, patterned, or why? What type of fabric do you prefer and why? I kind of gave you my perspective, but I would love to learn from you guys as well. If someone has a super like trick up their sleeve and wants to share it with us, I would love to hear it too. I love learning from you guys as much as I'm sharing. And perhaps next week I might bring some of those comments back and share them with everybody. So some last reminders. So our featured designer this month is Ingrid Altenator from Joe, June, and May. I am going to be interviewing her on Tuesday at 9:30 Central Time. that's a great opportunity to kind of get the behind the curtain, it's behind the quilt, I should say. It's a great opportunity to get behind the quilt and kind of hear her design process, what her journey is, how she got to where she is, and learn about how you could possibly get one of her free patterns if you're a member of our classic or modern maker boxes. Our Cotton Cuts Cares organization this month is the Children's Nutritional Program of Haiti. As a reminder, $5 of every first-time Java, Chroma, and Modern Maker and Classic will be donated to them. This is a fantastic, guys, we've given several $100s to date in all of our organizations, and so we love supporting these organizations. If you have a recommendation for someone you would like us to support going forward, simply send that as help@Cotton Cuts, and we will put them in the list. And then don't forget, guys, our snippet challenge. I am completely blown away by the entries I am seeing. You guys are crushing it. We still have 3 weeks left to enter. Don't forget, you can enter a small project or you could enter a whole quilt, whatever you prefer, whatever you have time to do, whatever that snippet direction takes you, feel free to make a project and submit it. I can tell you there will be those highly coveted Tula Pink Oliso irons as one of the prizes, and we'll probably give away something fun like a 6-month membership to one of our programs. That all is coming in the next couple of weeks. Keep sending those projects in. I think Paula is going to start kind of putting out some snapshots just to kind of keep you guys aware of what is going on. And that is all for me, guys. I hope everyone has a great weekend wherever you are. I hope you enjoy the spring. If you're on the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you enjoy your fall, and we will see you guys all next week. Happy sewing, everyone. Bye now.